The whiskey burned my throat, but it was nothing compared to the fire in my chest as her words echoed. You should be proud to have a wife so desired by other men. Claire's voice, smooth as silk, carried a smugness that sliced through me. Her eyes glittered with something, defiance maybe or amusement, as she leaned back in the restaurant booth, her red dress clinging to her like a second skin. I set my glass down hard, the clink against the table louder than the murmur of the crowded dining room. My pulse thundered in my ears. I stood, my chair scraping the hardwood floor, and walked out into the biting November night, leaving her there, her laughter trailing me like a ghost. The city street was a blur of neon and exhaust, the air sharp with the scent of rain-soaked asphalt. My hands trembled as I shoved them into my coat pockets, my breath clouding in the cold. Proud? The word twisted in my gut, a knife turning slowly. For months I'd ignored the signs. Her late nights at the gallery, the way her phone buzzed incessantly, the perfume that wasn't hers clinging to her scarf. I told myself it was nothing, that love meant trust, that doubt was a betrayal of its own. But now, her words had cracked something open, and the truth was seeping out, cold and relentless. I walked aimlessly, the city's pulse mocking my own. Taxis honking, strangers' laughter spilling from bars. My mind replayed the last year like a film reel I couldn't pause. Claire had always been magnetic, her laugh drawing eyes across rooms, her touch a spark that made me feel alive. We'd met 5 years ago at an art exhibit, her critiquing a painting with such passion I'd fallen for her before I knew her name. 2 years married, and I thought I knew her heart. But lately, her warmth felt rehearsed, her smiles fleeting, like she was performing for an audience I couldn't see. The first hint came in June. A text lit up her phone while she showered, the screen glowing on the kitchen counter. Miss you already? I'd stared at it, my stomach lurching, then convinced myself it was a friend, a colleague, anyone but what my gut screamed. I didn't ask her about it. I didn't want to know. Instead, I buried it, telling myself love was about faith, not suspicion. But the doubts grew like weeds. Her late nights, her sudden trips for work, the way she'd pull away when I reached for her in bed, her skin cold under my fingers. I stopped at a crosswalk, the red hand flashing, my reflection ghostly in a shop window. My face looked hollow, eyes shadowed with sleepless nights. I remembered the gala last month, Claire radiant in emerald green, her arm linked with Ethan, her gallery partner. He was all charm, tall, polished, with a smile that lingered too long. I'd watched them across the room, their heads bent close, her laugh too bright. When I'd asked her later, she'd waved it off. He's just passionate about the new exhibit, she'd said, her fingers brushing my cheek. I'd wanted to believe her. God, I'd wanted to. Tonight, though, her mask had slipped. We'd been at dinner, celebrating our anniversary, the candlelight flickering between us. She'd been distant, her eyes darting to her phone, her answers clipped. Then out of nowhere, she'd said it, her voice casual but laced with something darker. You should be proud to have a wife so desired by other men. It wasn't just the words. It was the way she'd looked at me, like she was testing me, daring me to react. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't stay. My phone buzzed in my pocket, her name lighting up the screen. I ignored it, my steps quickening. The city felt claustrophobic, the buildings looming like silent witnesses. I turned into an alley, the damp air heavy with the smell of garbage and rain. My mind churned. Was it Ethan? Someone else? How long had she been pulling away, building a life I wasn't part of? The questions clawed at me, each one sharper than the last. I loved her so fiercely it hurt, but love wasn't enough anymore. Not when trust was bleeding out. I found myself at the riverfront, the water black and restless under the city lights. My phone buzzed again, a voicemail this time. I played it, her voice soft but strained. James, where are you? I didn't mean it like that. Come back. Please. The plea in her tone tugged at me, but it felt hollow, like an actor hitting their mark. I deleted it, my thumb shaking. I didn't want her apologies. I wanted answers. The wind bit at my face as I leaned against the railing, the cold metal grounding me. I thought of the night we danced here, 3 years ago. Her head on my chest, the world fading away. I'd promised her forever, and she'd whispered it back. Now forever felt like a lie. My mind flashed to Ethan again, his hand on her arm at the gala, the way she hadn't pulled away. I'd told myself it was nothing, but denial was a fragile shield. The truth was there, in her words tonight, in the way she'd looked at me, like I was the fool for believing in us. I don't know how long I stood there, the river's murmur blending with the ache in my chest. Headlights swept across the street, and I turned to see her car pulling up. Claire stepped out, her red dress stark against the night, her face pale under the streetlights. She walked toward me, her heels clicking, her eyes searching mine. "James," she said, her voice breaking. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you." "Then why say it?" My voice was raw, louder than I intended. "Why throw it in my face like that?" She flinched, wrapping her arms around herself. "I was angry. You've been so distant lately, always questioning me. I wanted to push back." "Push back?" I laughed, bitter and sharp. "You told me to be proud of other men wanting you." "Who, Claire? Who's desiring you?" "Ethan." Her eyes widened, just for a moment, but it was enough. My heart sank, heavy as stone. "It's not what you think," she said quickly, stepping closer. "He's a friend. He's nothing." "Then why does it feel like everything?" I shouted, my voice echoing off the water. Passers-by glanced at us, but I didn't care. "The late nights, the texts, the way you look at him. Don't lie to me, Claire. Not now." She stared at me, tears welling, but her silence was louder than words. The air between us crackled with unspoken truths. Then, softly, she said, "I didn't mean for it to happen. It was just the tension. It felt good. But I love you, James. I swear I do." Her words hit like a punch, confirmation and betrayal in one breath. I stepped back, the ground unsteady beneath me. "How long?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "A few months," she admitted, her voice breaking. "But it's over. I ended it. I chose you." I wanted to scream, to walk away, to hold her and pretend it never happened. But the trust we'd built was gone, shattered into pieces too small to glue back together. I looked at her, the woman I'd loved, and saw a stranger. "You chose me," I said, my voice cold. "No, Claire. You chose yourself." I turned and walked away, the river at my back, her sobs fading into the night. The city swallowed me whole. And with every step, I felt the weight of her betrayal lift, replaced by something sharper, freedom, or maybe just the courage to let go.